I'm Caden Blake, and welcome to the McPherson County Minute. For my first interview, I sat down with head football coach Luke Connell.
We finished 3-6 with a playoff berth. We ended up going to Riverside and was defeated in the first round of playoffs. On the field, we had some success. We had a great win against Medicine Valley here at home. Started out 3-1. That's always a positive. Some things that we need to work on is just building depth so that we can get through them later season games when people are starting to wear out. Cooper Barnum is our lone senior. Cooper's a high energy guy, gives you 100% of what he's got all the time. And that's his leadership and stuff like that was the reason we did get through some of the games we were able to get through. Coy Johnston, Caleb Burnside, Cole Kramer, Tad Demmett, and Jackson Starr. All five of those juniors played every minute of the game that was meaningful for the most part. And I just feel like they provided just enough talent and enough leadership to keep us in games that maybe we shouldn't even been in. Cooper transformed his body in between his freshman and sophomore year, became a every down player since then, and so he's been a 3-year starter. Like I say, high energy, loves contact. He's the type of kid that you just doesn't come around every day. He'll do anything for the team. It doesn't matter. Last year, we asked him to play guard. He's a running back, fullback kind of kid by nature. Asked him to play guard last year. He did it. This year, we asked him to play end. He did it. We move him all around the field. He plays linebacker, safety, or whatever on defense. He's just, like I say, that high energy, and he's a kid that you don't want to get off the field because he brings that level of energy up. We're going to miss Cooper Barnum. He's been a tremendous player for us throughout his career, and without a doubt, a great leader this year. Yeah, super excited about this group. Once again, the 5 juniors are going to return. They're top notch. We got some sophomores and some freshmen that are returning. We could possibly have up to 27, 28 kids on the team next year, which is a major improvement from where we were at a few years ago. Probably the most exciting part for me is just that depth that we're going to get. We're going to get on the line. We're going to have some big boys pushing guys around the line for the first time. Tad Demmett's been the only big guy we've had for this season, and he's going to have some guys beside him that can help him there. That depth, be it at quarterback, running back, linebacker, safety, wherever it is, we're gaining a ton of depth in a group of kids who really want to play the game of football. I feel like next year's team will probably be the best team that, on paper anyways, that we've had in quite some time, and we look forward to seeing how that comes to play on the field.
Next, I interviewed head volleyball coach Janet Victory.
I was very pleased with it. I guess if you compare it to last year's season, they were 2-19 last year, and we ended up 16-14 this year. So that was a huge improvement just on win-loss record. I guess the last winning record that actually Stapleton had, or when they were consolidated as the Cyclones, was in 2009. So it's been quite a few years since they've actually had a winning season for the volleyball team. I think huge success was the winning record, and we had some top players kind of in our area. We had Jalen Fowler made all-conference first team, and then we had 3 that made honorable mention, which was Arena Fetty, Abby Nicholson, and Lindsay Newman. They all made all-conference honorable mention. Improve on, definitely blocking still. We're going to really work on blocking, trying to get some girls on that front end. And then everything else is pretty good. Just continue to work on our offense, our hitting percentage, and generate some more kills. And then defensively, they did pretty good. They learned how to read the block, and they learned how to read other hitters, and so they've adjusted really well. And their serve receive really improved a lot this year. Jalen definitely stood out to me. Jalen Fowler. She stood out to me as an all-around player. She played clear around. She was our leader in kills this year. She was also our second leader in digs. She led ace serves this year. She led points this year for the team. And she was just a little fireball out there, and she had a lot of heart for the game of volleyball. And she made everybody better because she has that enthusiasm and that work ethic for the sport of volleyball. Other people that really stood out was Abby Nicholson was a new libero for us this year, and she led our team in digs. And she really worked hard at her skills to get better and better, and she was very recognized in the conference and in the Panhandle of being one of the best liberos around the area. Arena Fetty also really improved a lot on her skills as a middle hitter, got a lot more confidence. And I think working or hitting the quick hits probably helped her a lot on her game, step it up a little higher level. And then Lindsay Newman was our setter this year, and this was the first time she's been a starting setter as a junior, and she did a really good job running a 5-1 offense for us this year. And then Emma Nicholson, she was a freshman this year, and she really stepped it up and played really good as a starting freshman on varsity. And then Peyton Moore ended up being our outside hitter this year, but she played every position for me this year. And then finally, she found her home kind of on the outside as an outside hitter. So she also played clear around and did an excellent job for me playing clear around. So.
Finally, I sat down with head cross country coach Eric Clokey.
I thought the team did pretty well this year. We had 6 boy runners in high school, and this was the first time that we had a full girls team for cross country. They competed hard every meet. We usually normally see Class B, Class C schools, so we're running against bigger schools, but we still had a couple of kids that medaled. Those kids would have been like Colin Rooney and Jared Trimble. At the conference meets, the boys were able to take home first place as a team. I want to say Jared Trimble got 3rd place, Colin Rooney got 4th place, and Stephen Kane placed 5th for the boys. The girls, they did not take home any medals, but they got 3rd place as a team. And then district-wise, the boys' team goal was to go to stay as a team again because they did that last year, and they unfortunately came up 5 points short. But both Colin Rooney and Jared Trimble qualified for the state meets. And the girls, they actually finished, I think, 8th place as a team, which was higher than the goal that they set. So all in all, it was a pretty good season, I'd say. Yeah, so successes this year, I'd say we had quite a few kids medal. I know Colin Rooney's goal, he wanted to medal at the state meet, and he was able to just sneak in and did that. So those are some positives. Same with girls. We just wanted to see what the girls team could do. I think they built a good foundation for next year. So looking for things to improve on next year would be boys. I think their goal would be to go to the state meets as a team next year. And I think girls, hopefully we can get 3 more to go as a team or to have as a team, and just try to improve and get better than what we did this year. I would like to say that Jared Trimble really stood out to me this year because he really took on a big role, a big leadership role this year. He was the one that kind of kept everybody in line during practices. He was the one that kept everybody held accountable in practices. He did nothing but work hard for the team, and I thought he had great leadership, and I think the younger kids could help learn from him how his leadership was. So I'd say Jared Trimble was one of the kids that really stood out to me. And I'd also say Marianne Zuniga for the girls. She drastically improved her times from last year, and so she stepped up and had a much better work ethic in practices this year than she did last year. We only had one senior this year, and that was Isa Zuniga, and she was for the girls team. She had no cross-country background, so for her it was just to get 1 year under her belt and see what she could do her senior year, and I think she did pretty good for what she wanted to try to do.
For the final part of this special, I sat down with the head basketball and wrestling coaches for a winter preview. The first coach I interviewed was head wrestling coach Jason Phelps.
We're going to have a fun year this year because we're introducing women's wrestling. And so we have, right now, we're looking at 7 girls going out, and for that, and we're going to have between 8 to 11 boys out for guys wrestling this year. So it's going to be a fun but challenging year. We got a couple on our list. We go to Sutherland, and then we go to South Loop. Those are both really hard tournaments, but it's really hard to say any is key because you just don't know where kids are at, what weights are at, stuff like that. So they're all kind of key at this point. Well, we went from 6, 7 kids out last year. We're going to have around 11 this year, and so we have more practice partners. And we just have to keep growing as individuals, and hopefully we can take the next step this year. Yeah, we actually got involved with that right away. I went to Mr. Clokey and said that we needed to start our own tournament just so we can get it going, where we knew we were going to have around 5 to 6, and our number jumped up to 7 this year. So we have our own tournament, which is the second week of the year, which is on the December 11th, I believe. And we're hosting one in Stapleton.
I also caught up with head boys basketball coach Tim Karn.
A good question. More growth. They grew quite a bit last year, but I think that this year there's a nucleus there that if they decide that they want to be a team and play as a team, that the expectations should be fairly high. I think last year they won 16 games, but didn't play that well. I mean, we could have lost 6 or 7 of those that we won. So more consistency, more teamwork, just more growth. Well, I think our leader right now is going to be Caleb Burnside, just because he attends everything. He is knowledgeable about what we're trying to do. He gives maximum effort in practice, and the guys need to follow his lead. Now he's accepted a role this year of a non-scoring point guard. Not to say that he can't score, but he's done a nice job over the summer of kind of directing traffic and setting things up the way they needed to be set up. Well, I think early on we want to set a tone. So the Anselmo Myrna game is one that I know the boys are real interested in winning or playing well anyway. And I'd like to win the first weekend. I think that would be a plus. But key games down the road, we owe Thedford, and Mullins had our number for several years, and so we'd like to get them as well. But I think the key game all year is going to be meeting St. Pat's in the district. Well, more importantly than record will be to build the camaraderie, the teamwork, the one unit. This group of boys, not the younger ones, but the juniors and seniors, have been kind of a jealous bunch of each other. And one guy gets 25 points and everybody's jealous, and they should be celebrating. So we have to celebrate each other's successes. And if we do that, the record will take care of itself. But we've had some attitudes already this year before the season even starts. So I think we'll have 17 or 18 kids out. So we don't need anyone. So we've got plenty of bodies to teach. And those that want to learn and those that want to do what's asked of them, those are the ones that'll play.
And finally, I sat down with head girls basketball coach, Mecca Melvin.
I expect that the girls will really come out there and compete. I'm already seeing that they're working really hard. I see a lot of experience is starting to shine through because when I throw something at them, they're taking it with and running with it. So I see a lot of good things coming out of this season. I think our seniors are going to step up this year, and I got some girls that are sophomores that are going to step up and be leaders. The reason why is because they're already stepping up and taking over in practice and helping the younger girls understand plays and understand drills, and it makes my job a lot easier because they already know and they help those girls along. Oh, wow, there's a lot. First off, first game of the season, Myrna, they're going to be a tough one. If we can get like Sutherland, that'll be a tough one. Franklin's going to be a tough one. Juanita Palisade, they've always been good. I don't know if there's any like key ones because we have a really tough schedule, but it's really good because it pushes the girls to be better. Sadie Dimmitt, Keely Floria, and Megan Amos are our seniors this year.
I want to wish all the Maverick athletes the best of luck, and to you, happy holidays.